It was mixed feelings because I was an emotional wreck at that point, because I did have the first trappings and start of PTSD. And what made it worse as well is when I was teaching counter IED search, I was teaching guys who were going out to Afghan who were getting killed and injured, and a lot of them were friends. And I didn't quite understand secondary trauma at that point either, because there was I reading new reports and stuff in my last 6 or 8 months, still trying to keep one foot in that job whilst having an eye on my future. And there I was reading reports, and then every time I was reading reports, if it was similar to like when I'd been blown up a few times or seen guys killed or injured, I'd be like invariably having flashbacks by reading reports.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'd have to read them on my own so no one saw it, because I'd start crying or whatever, because I'd be like understanding all them elements of them reports. But we had to read them in order to get good drills and procedures up to date and do a better job for the next guys. So you're invariably putting yourself through trauma doing it. So that double-edged sword of having a cushy 2 years and not deploying was great, but it came with a caveat and it came with a consequence. So I was kind of glad to leave it because it became too traumatic towards the end. Now I was pushing it all away because I was trying to push like self-defense mechanism and pushing away the trauma, because I'd had enough of it by that stage. I'd had enough. So
did you know what it was then, though? Did you know it was trauma then?
They never diagnosed me in the military. The nurse never once said, "Oh, you've got post-traumatic stress disorder." Right? I got diagnosed here in 2014 by a Swedish doctor who'd worked with Swedish veterans from Bosnia. On the second session, he said, "Chris, you have got complex post-traumatic stress disorder." He said, "1 minute you're in Kosovo dealing with refugees, next minute you're handling bodies in South Georgia, next minute you're watching a British soldier getting shot in downtown Basra, and my stories were flitting all over the place." So next minute I was talking through to him catastrophic trauma injuries to soldiers in Afghan, like legs missing and fingers missing and that kind of stuff.
So you were having to navigate that while leaving at the same time and trying to forward plan your future.